Imagine if the history you have always believed in was actually just the tip of an iceberg. For decades, we have been accustomed to the evolution of civilization as written in textbooks, from stone tools to bronze, from tribes to nations, everything seemingly so orderly. However, in the summer of 1986, the sharp strike of a shovel in Guanghan, Sichuan, China, completely shattered the cognition of the global archaeological community. The Earth seemed to spit out secrets it had hidden for 3,000 years in an instant. What emerged were not the exquisite porcelains we are familiar with, nor traditional symbols of royal power, but a group of monsters with extremely bizarre appearances, completely transcending the facial characteristics of East Asian races. They possessed pupils protruding dozens of centimeters out of their eye sockets like telescopes, ears as large as wings, and mouths torn wide all the way to their ears. Scientists fell silent because the technology and aesthetics displayed by these bronzes simply should not have existed on Earth 3,000 years ago. Is this, after all, the projection of deities, or a visitor from another dimension? The beginning of it all seemed mundane and accidental. Two local brickyard workers were digging soil as usual, only to unexpectedly strike a piece of hard metal. As the dirt was brushed away, a pair of golden eyes gleaming with a cold light stared dead at them. It was not gold, but ancient bronze covered in a thick layer of green patina. As the two massive sacrificial pits were fully excavated, an entire, silent army of monsters broke through the earth. Aside from those unsettling masks, there was a sacred bronze tree standing nearly 4 meters high, with divine birds perching on its branches and a roaming dragon twisting around its trunk. In an era devoid of any modern welding technology or high-precision furnaces, how did the ancient Shu people melt and cast tons of bronze into such a structurally complex and intricately decorated masterpiece that connects to heaven? The interlocking of every single part and the direction of every line seem to mock the arrogance and prejudice of modern humans toward ancient civilizations. Looking closely at these masks, their giant ear structures resemble wings designed to receive signals. What exactly were they listening to? Was it a message from antiquity, or a low hum from the deep recesses of outer space? Did those priests who vanished into the long river of history once stand upon the altar, using these bronze artifacts to converse with a force we cannot possibly comprehend? Yet, what truly sends shivers down one's spine about Sanxingdui is not its peculiarity, but its silence. This was an empire possessing peak industrial capabilities, a super civilization capable of awing all surrounding territories. Yet, within the ruins spanning several square kilometers, archaeologists could not find a single written character, not even a simple engraved symbol. This is extremely rare in the history of human civilization, whether during the glorious eras of Sumer, ancient Egypt, or ancient India. Vast amounts of records were left behind. Why did Sanxingdui choose collective silence? Was it that they disdained making records, or did their form of civilization simply not require written words to be passed down? It is as if they were issued a permanent gag order, taking the truth away forever, leaving behind only these cold bronze eyes, quietly staring into nothingness. If you think Sanxingdui is just strange looking, you are gravely mistaken. The true horror stems from the black technologies that simply should not have existed 3,000 years ago. Let us lock our gaze onto that most despair-inducing miracle, the #1 bronze sacred tree. This masterpiece, standing up to 3.96 meters high, was smashed to pieces when unearthed in 1986. After a decade of restoration by archaeological experts, its full appearance was revealed: 3 layers of branches, 9 divine birds, and a winding dragon descending down. But the true mystery lies hidden within its structure. In an era 3,000 years ago, when even iron tools were not yet widespread and any modern welding methods were non-existent, how did the ancient Shu people integrate dozens of complex bronze components into one through precise cast-on and riveting techniques? Under microscopes, experts discovered that the joints of the sacred tree are smooth and seamless, even reaching the error margin level of modern precision machining. Could this really have been accomplished solely by manual stone hammers? Even more shudder-inducing is that half-golden mask that shocked the world in 2021. Its gold content is as high as 85%, and its thickness is a mere 0.2 millimeters. Please note this number: in antiquity, without modern rolling mills, forging gold to be so uniform, so thin, and yet incredibly resilient has already touched the physical limits of material science. Most disturbing of all are the huge ear holes on the mask, and the wing-like ear decorations of the protruding-eyed masks. Some scholars have proposed an extremely bold hypothesis. These giant ear structures and protruding eyeballs might not be mythological fictions, but rather bronze replicas of some precision sensing devices. What exactly were they listening to? Were they receiving some ancient signal? At the bottom of the sacrificial pits, an even deeper horror lies buried. Hundreds of elephant tusks were neatly cut, mixed with silk fragments, exquisite jade wares, and bronze remnants scorched by intense fire. This looks less like a sacrifice and more like a funeral of a civilization. All top-tier wealth was centrally destroyed, burned, and buried, as if the ancient Shu people received some command overnight to completely erase all traces of this civilization's existence. If the Sanxingdui civilization was truly just an ordinary tribe, why would they destroy the technology they were so proud of? Unless these technologies themselves were not meant to benefit humanity, but were rather observation stations left behind by some higher dimensional power. When the observation ended, they ruthlessly cut off the signal. What we see now might just be those defective products they casually discarded upon leaving. Could it be that the alien civilization we have been searching for so desperately had already taken its final bow right here, 3,000 years ago? But were rather observation stations left behind by some higher dimensional power. When the observation ended, they ruthlessly cut off the signal. What we see now might just be those defective products they casually discarded upon leaving. Could it be that the alien civilization we have been searching for so desperately had already taken its final bow right here, 3,000 years ago? Whether it was melting and casting such a magnificent bronze sacred tree, or maintaining a massive social class capable of mobilizing the wealth of an entire nation, both must rely on extremely efficient information transmission. That is to say, it is absolutely impossible for Sanxingdui to have no writing. Yet, the eerie thing is that throughout over 1,000 years of reproduction and prosperity, they did not leave behind even a single recognizable symbol. No chronicles of kings, no laws, no records of war. In the East Asian continent, which places extreme emphasis on writing history for inheritance, this total speechlessness looks more like a deliberate choice. It is as if they were telling posterity through voiceless actions. The secrets here are not worthy of being recorded by the writing of mortals, or perhaps, they were using this eternal silence to hide some ultimate coordinate from the deep recesses of the starry sky that must absolutely never be leaked. This silence has made Sanxingdui the most thrilling hidden reef in the long river of Chinese civilization. If the Chinese civilization is compared to a giant river that embraces 100 rivers and has never ceased to flow, most tributaries are clearly visible. Only Sanxingdui is like a black boulder suddenly bursting out of the water from the center of the river, carrying a completely heterogeneous technology and aesthetic, forcefully smashing a hole in our historical common sense. It has thousands of threads connecting it to the central plain civilization of the Yellow River Basin, yet it stubbornly retains those giant, bronze eyes shaped like alien creations. It is not a marginal side branch, it is another unknown, massive world that once ran parallel to us. Searching for the truth of Sanxingdui is actually searching for ourselves as human beings. The 2021 excavation that shocked the world was not as prying open the coffin lid of history, but rather history, after a gap of 3,000 years, once again actively sending a whisper to modern humans. At this very moment, those bronze masks lying quietly in the glass display cases of the museum, under the cold spotlights, still open those giant eyes that pierce through nothingness. They have penetrated 3,000 years of darkness and crossed the vicissitudes of countless generations, and at this moment, they are quietly staring at you and me in front of the screen. They are not looking at this world, they are waiting for the day when the technology of modern humans can truly understand them.